part 2 of section 7.1. I'm going to look at some examples, putting these different methods into play, and this will be very similar to the type of problems you'll be asked to do in the homework with these voting methods. An election is held for a new vice president at a college. There are 3 candidates, A, B, and C, and the faculty rank which candidate they like most. The preference ballot is below. So you have first choice in the first row, second choice, third choice, the number of voters across the top there. And they want to know how many voters voted in the election. Well, you just need to add those numbers for each of the individual preference orders. And when you do this, you get 44. So 44 total voters. And then how many votes are needed for the majority? Well, you just need more than half. So you figure out how much is half by dividing by 2. And then you take that and just add 1 to it. So you'll get 23. So 23 is the majority. Now, one thing to note here with these majorities, if odd number of voters, let's say you got 53 voters, you divide by 2, you're going to get 26.5. We're not going to round, or I should say add 1 to this, because you're not going to get a round number. You're going to get 27.5. And you really just need anything more than half. So use 27, just the next whole number above 26.5 for the majority. So it's going to happen anytime you got an odd number of voters. You don't add 1, you just really have to add a half or go up to the next whole number, because anything more than half is a majority. Okay, so for even, add 1, for odd, add a half would be another way to think about that. All right, now we're going to find the method, or find, I should say, the winner using the method of plurality. And for this, we just need to focus on the first choices. We don't care about anything going on down here. It's only the first place votes. For A, again, just first place. A had 8 plus 10. Just looking at those first 2 columns, A was the first choice there. So 18 total. B, 12 plus 9 equals 21. And then C, 4 plus 1 equals 5. B had the most first place votes. By the plurality method, B is the winner. All right, so let me clean this up a little, and we're going to move into the board account method. For the board account method, we need to have a point system. So first place, there were 3 candidates. First place gets 3 points. Second place gets 1 less, 2 points. And third place gets 1 point. So each time a candidate gets a first place vote, they get 3 points for that vote. Each time a candidate gets second place, they get 2 points for each of those second place votes. And then they would get 1 point for every time they are voted as a third place candidate. So for A, let's take a look at what this does. I know there were 18 first place votes for A, so they get 3 points for each of those. So you just multiply the number of first place by 3 points. For second place, if we go up here to the table, look at the second choice. A was second here and here, 12 and 4. So add that, you get 16 times when A was a second choice. So you get 2 points for each of those. And then we need the times when they were the third choice. Oh, sorry about that. And A was the third choice here and here. So 9 plus 1 is 10 times that they were the third choice. So you don't really have to multiply by 1. It's because it's not going to change it, but just to make it stand out. And then we will get a total here of 96 points. So A has 96 points. And then B, 21 times that they were first place. Again, that's just using the Part C result. And we can look at the second place for B, here and here. So 8 and 1 would be 9 of those. So 9 times 2. And then how many times was B third place? B was third place here and here. 10 plus 4 is 14. So they just get 14 points for that. And altogether, that'll be 95 when you do the order operations and get all those numbers combined in the right way. And for C, 5 times they were the first place. Going up here to the chart for second place. Sorry about that, it's squirrely. For the second place, there was 10, 9, so 19 for second place. And then last but not least, the number of times they were third place. C was third place 8 times, 12 more times, so 20 times. And when you add all these up, you get 73 points. By the board account method, A squeaks out the win. So A is the winner. And already we can see that people will probably be arguing about this because, you know, one method gives a winner and the other method gives another winner. So, you know, this is why it's so important to understand how your winner is going to be selected before the voting happens. All right, and then we're moving into the plurality with elimination. So I just recopied the chart, make it a little easier. Plurality with elimination, we look at the number of first place votes, and whoever has the least amount gets kicked out. Well, C only had 5 first place votes, so we basically just eliminate C completely from the table. And then in essence, what's going to happen here, A is going to get 4 more first place votes because C's out of the mix, and B is going to get 1 more first place vote because C is out of the mix. So you're still just counting up first place votes, but by eliminating a candidate, you're going to allow A to move up and get some more and B to move up and get some more. So we'll have for A, 8 plus 10 plus 4, or 22. And then for B, there'll be 12 plus 9 plus 1, or 22. And we're in a tie. Nobody has the least, we can't eliminate. And when you get down to 2, it's either a tie or there should be a winner. And in this case, since it's just a tie, there is no clear winner. That'll happen sometimes. This is why you need tiebreakers, and well-defined tiebreakers. All right, and then let me clean this table up for the pairwise comparisons. So in pairwise comparisons, we need to pair up each possible pairing. A is going to get paired with B. A will get paired with C. And then B will get paired with C. So that takes care of all of them. It's a combination, 3 choose 2. There's only 3 outcomes. And then you start looking at, we're going to focus just on the A versus B matchup. So A and B are, on the court right now, trying to decide who's going to win 1 point for their cause. And we need to see how many times A is preferred over B. A is over B here. A is over B here. A is over B here. So 8 plus 10 plus 4, or 22 times. B preferred over A. Let's look at that. B over A was here, here, and here. 12 plus 9 plus 1, also 22 times. So that 1 point that they were fighting for, when there's a tie, each one gets a half a point. All right, let's look at A versus C. So again, we're looking at how many ballots prefer A over C. A over C here, A over C here, A over C here, no more. So 8 plus 10 plus 12 is 30 times A was preferred over C. And then you look for how many times C over A. C over A here, C over A here, and here. So 9 plus 4 plus 1 is 14. A is a blowout winner, so they get 1 point out of that matchup. And then B versus C, B over C, B over C, B over C. So 8 plus 12 plus 9 is 29. And then C over B is here, here, and here. And that's going to add up 10 plus 4 plus 1 is 15. So B gets 1 point from that matchup. And then you go ahead and say, all right, well, we've got these points. Let's add them up for A. A gets 1.5 points. B also gets 1.5 points. C has 0. And we have another tie. And it's okay. We just need tiebreakers. But for this class, we're not going to really go deep into the tie-breaking world. Excuse me. And we will get no clear winner. All right, so the fairness criterion, getting into this, we may go into part 3 probably for the examples here, but let's go through this fairness criterion. And basically, one issue with voting methods, all of them can have issues with fairness. You know, especially when you start talking about people's perspective of what's fair and what's not fair. They can all have issues with fairness. In fact, none of the 4 voting methods can satisfy all the following fairness criterion. So the majority criterion, if a candidate receives a majority of the first place votes in an election, then that candidate should be the winner of the election. So they receive the majority, they should be the winner. If they aren't the winner, the majority criterion is violated. Condorcet criterion. If there's a candidate in a head-to-head, that's kind of a key thing you'll be looking for. And they are preferred by the voters over every other candidate, then that candidate should be the winner. If they're not, the Condorcet criterion was violated, and this candidate is known as the Condorcet candidate. Monotonicity. Mono, same, tonicity, or tone is, you're looking at like the same tone, so you should be seeing the similar results basically. Candidate X is a winner of election, and then a re-election happens. This is a key word here. Something that tells you that an election was done again. The only changes are changes that favor X. Then X should remain the winner. X is a winner, a re-election, only things that favor X happened in the re-election, X should remain the winner. If they don't, monotonicity is violated. And the last one, you gotta take a deep breath. The independence of irrelevant alternatives criterion. Ooh, that's a mouthful. But basically in this one, candidate X is a winner of an election. Candidate is removed. Other candidates is removed or are removed. And the ballot's recounted. X should still be a winner. If they aren't, then the independence of irrelevant alternatives is violated. So we'll pick up with the examples for this in part 3, but you'll be looking for some of these key aspects that I've underlined in order to determine which of the criteria will be violated.